Welcome back to this hobby of ours. So excited to be doing some watch yapping. As always, you know I love to do some yapping. And tonight we're having on the program good buddy Ricardo. Going to talk some watches, some gold watches of all things, and going to have a good bit of fun. So without further ado, let us welcome Ricardo to the program. What up, Ricardo?
Hi, Dee. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Always good to be chatting with you, my man. And it's so fun to be able to have this technology in order to do so long distance.
It sure is. It's nice to speak with you.
So what do we get into tonight, my man? Talking gold watches, watches and wonders, gold watches, and gold, baby. That's what's up.
Well, sure, that we should definitely go there, but I think first we should do our customary wristwatch check. I'm just wearing a large, oversized plastic swatch in order to discuss gold watches because I've been at home all day and I've had a light and comfortable one on my wrist that I can see.
Right on. I am having a good bit of fun with this Tudor FXD LHD MOD by D and Friends, my FXD that I modified with my buddies. Link in the description to that video. You too can modify a FXD Tudor to be left-hand drive. Piece of cake.
Fantastic. That's a beautiful watch too.
I love this piece, and ever since I switched it over to left-hand drive, love it, love it, love it. But that is not, titanium is my favorite of all metals. Titanium is not the metal of choice, is not the weapon of choice tonight, is it? We're going to be talking some gold watches, brother. And thank you for bringing this subject to my attention, dude.
Well, you bet. Watches and Wonders went off, and we didn't get to go this year. I think we will.
Or any year, but yeah.
I think we will at some point, but we definitely saw the heavy hitters that came out of it.
We sure did, didn't we?
There were new lineups. There were whole new lineups from different watchmakers, but each watchmaker seemed to put something front and center that caught everyone's attention. Indeed.
We're not going to discuss Vacheron and their rose gold offerings tonight. They were beautiful, but those are understandable gold offerings. We've got some wild and out gold offerings we're going to kick it off with tonight. I think that everyone, myself included, was expecting a Rolex GMT Coke bezel, and we didn't get that, but we got something else instead, and it kind of trickled in, I believe, late in 2023, but again in 2024. They call it the Icy Coke, the Coke with ice?
Yes. I've seen Rolex divers with factory ice before.
Yeah.
When we were in Las Vegas, I saw a beautiful one. So I can't remember specifically what it was, but it had a bunch of very stunning blue stones all the way around it. I didn't realize at the time that those were direct from Rolex, and the Icy Coke is definitely one that merits some attention from 2023. Many people watching this channel will already know what the Rolex Coke is. The GMT models have different bezels that have different color schemes and different dial color schemes that are nicknamed by various different kinds of soft drinks, like the root beer or the Sprite or the Pepsi.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. No doubt, brother.
And the Coke is one of them. It has it's been around for some time. It's maybe the signature one of those watches.
I don't know. I think maybe the Pepsi has had prevalence, but the Coke's been around. Certainly the Pepsi was the first. Everyone was rooting for the Coke. We got the Coke in the form of a Tudor release this year, which is cool. But I don't know how I missed. Let's be honest. I'm not tuned in to high-end Rolex to begin with, which is probably how I missed the Icy Coke or the Coke with ice in late 23 whenever it released. But then it kind of got refreshed a couple weeks ago, and to be honest, it's all gold, and then bejeweled bezel, sapphires on the bottom. I don't know what the darker stones are on top. Maybe they're dark rubies or whatnot.
Are they sapphires or red rubies on the bottom?
I would guess red rubies. Have no fear, they'll correct us in the comments, brother.
Fantastic.
But at 180 Gs plus, let's be honest, I'm not in the running for that watch any more than I'm in the running for the Cartier Platinum Rewind, dude.
Well, the Icy Coke would be a pretty good grail watch, except I don't know how I'm ever going to swing a $200,000 watch. So
that's a really nice house in a lot of different cities.
Yes, indeed.
But on that point of Cartier, for me, I feel Cartier crushed it. I felt they did some of the best stuff, the best releases in Watches and Wonders from up and down their spectrum. But that platinum 200 units rewind where the dial goes backwards and the movement was re-stepped to run backwards. Okay, it's a novelty. It's a bit of a goof.
On the other hand,
as soon as I heard about it, dude, I went to my AD and tried to get put on the list.
it's wickedly attractive, isn't it? The whole idea of it.
Yeah, it's, the whole how time works stuff aside from it, it's like, oh, it's super unique Cartier. What are you going to do? It's going to be worth something to someone. But there's I found out that if you want a platinum Cartier, you have to fill out what amounts to be a job application, and then they will let you know if you are approved to buy it. So a little better than the wait list for Rolex. But I was talking to my Cartier rep, and she's like, yeah, it's kind of like applying for a job or a mortgage.
Did she tell you what the criteria were on how they decide?
I wanted to be polite. She was a lovely woman. I've spoken with her for years. Just you could tell she wanted to be polite. I wasn't dressed to go in asking for a $40,000 platinum watch that day. But she's like, well, let me tell you what happened for the last platinum customer. I was like, oh, by all means, please tell me. CEO of his own business, captain of industry, private jet, blah, blah, blah. So I probably shouldn't bother filling out the paperwork. And she hesitated, but I'm like, come on, you can tell me. And she's like, yeah, don't bother. You're not going to get it. She was exceedingly kind. But I next put my name down for the dual time. I just found out from watching another video from Talking Timepieces with Tony, shout out, that it's got a Sellita movement in it. An almost $10,000 watch. And Sellita's no slouch. Sellita movements are awesome. But if I'm paying 10 grand for a Cartier watch, I want a Cartier handcrafted movement in there, bro.
That makes sense. Otherwise, you're starting to resemble a different watch brand we know that sells pretty cheap movements.
Well, Cartier with quartz movements in them, that's a thing too, but we digress. So, back on task. The Icy Coke. Are you giving it thumbs up or thumbs down, brother?
I'll give that one 2 thumbs up. It's a spectacular watch. It's stunning. I mean, I would.
You do like some bling when you're not rocking your Swatch. You do like some Rolex bling, so I can't blame you.
It's lovely. I mean, it really is lovely. I don't have any diamonds, but I've been looking at them a lot over the last few months. I've been looking at lab diamonds. There's something to be said for some bling. And
as far as I know, he also doesn't have any oil fields. So let's cross this one off your list. Let's get one that's a little closer, shall we?
Okay.
Gold Deep Sea. The Gold Deep Sea. What do you think about it, brother?
The Deep Sea has been around for a while. Do you remember exactly how long the Deep Sea has been around?
I have no idea. I think it's twice the watch that I could wear. I'd be pressing weights if I tried to put that watch on, dude.
Yeah, it's probably, I don't have the specs in front of me, but it's probably twice.
44 millimeter. It's a hunk of weight, and then this one has a titanium back to it, which was either done to offset a little bit of gold weight or to accomplish that proper depth rating. It could go either way. There's no indication as to which it was. I mean, it's got so much gold weight to it.
Well, first we should say to anybody who's not familiar with the Rolex Deep Sea, it is a watch that looks a lot like a Submariner or a GMT. It's on
steroids.
It's pretty big, but it's about twice as thick. It's got a helium escape valve. Don't ask me to explain exactly what that does, but it's something to do with going deep. And unlike the regular watches, which are proof to 200 meters, 400 meters, 1,000 meters, whatever they are.
They're all over the place.
This one is proofed to 3,900 meters, which is staggeringly deep. It's Mariana Trench.
If you're going that deep, you aren't bringing this watch with you unless you were wearing the watch and you fell off a boat and it dragged you that deep. But the helium escape valve was designed to protect the watch whenever you're doing saturation diving. The molecules of helium are smaller than oxygen, so it allows them to escape so it doesn't blow your crystal off. So that's the point of the helium escape valve. No desk divers are ever going to need that or use that, but this thing is thick as a brick. It's a chunky monkey. And there are some people with man's wrists who want to wear it. It's not me. It's going to be like 50 after converting Swiss francs, 55 G's retail US.
Right. If you can get it.
If you can get it, but you might be able to, because it's so expensive and so weird. You might be able to, but generally a good point, buddy.
This deep sea family has been nicknamed the James Cameron.
So, well, there's a James Cameron version, certainly.
Right, and so I would go out on a limb here and say that James Cameron's going to get one, and that's about all I can say for sure in terms of people. But
Paul and Danny, I'm rooting for both of you each to get one.
But as I mentioned in the article that I wrote on this topic, these superstar watches, in some ways, form the same part of the ecosystem that a runway show does for Givenchy or Chanel or any of the fashion houses, in that they the Watches and Wonders showcased regular watches, of course, but it showed these spectacular ones that are ultra rare and ultra special, in order to garner a lot of attention to the brand. And not necessarily that they want to sell a bunch of these watches. They're only making 200 of the rewinds. I don't know how many deep seas they're making. They're probably not making very many, of the Tudors that we're going to discuss in a second. Yeah. But they're out there in order to get people excited about the brand, to get them talking about the brand. And if you don't buy the $50,000 watch that's being shown, then there are plenty of other watches that are not too dissimilar from it that ordinary people might be interested in.
I think you hit part of the nail on the head. Spectacular often equates to spectacle, and this is definitely a spectacle piece. Some people were speculating that this one would eventually get made. I think I've had the chance to hold, and I think maybe you did too, the Rolex Submariner all gold. I think we checked one out in New York City that time we were out there, but you can get those for like $36K, and they pre-owned and several years old, and they're a brick. I can't imagine, because this watch is much larger than a subby. It's just a juggernaut. It's for a very specific clientele with very specific wrist size and watch taste, to be honest. This is a statement piece to end all statement pieces.
It is, and it's gorgeous. I mean, there's nothing I don't like about it, except that I don't think I would wear it to the office every day. And plunking.
You're not going to wear it to the gym. You're not going to wear it jogging.
Wear it to the gym, and
you'll be dragging knuckles if you wear this jogging.
That's right. But it definitely. I believe it was O'Sheen that was talking about this watch, and he said that some companies listen to customers, they hear what the customer wants, and they deliver what the customers say they want. Not Rolex. They come up with something that's spectacular and out there and amazing, and they make it, and then the people want it. And that's because
I have heard that. I didn't hear that from him. I don't know if I heard that from him or I heard it from somewhere. But this next piece is very much, if Rolex is making what they want and then we end up wanting it, then the next piece, and as far as Tudor goes, Tudor seems to be listening to the watch public, the watch community. But where they got the idea for this one, I have got no idea. We are, of course, discussing the Black Bay 58 green dial, green bezel, all gold, $32,000. Oh, Beckham is the only one who's going to buy this watch, and he's going to get it at a discount.
Well, $32,000 is a substantial price, but it's not that far out of range of what people are paying for a lot of Rolexes and stuff. But This is the watch that I would say of the watches we're discussing tonight that has the most potential to redefine the entire line that it's a part of. Um,
What?
I think that
No.
I think that what's happening here is
Yeah,
that Rolex wants to move even higher in the ecosystem of watches, and
I would agree.
they want their I don't know what you'd call this line, the Tudor line.
Sister brand.
They want to take their sister brand more up market, and
Ooh.
this is a statement that is saying to the customer, to the public, Tudor is not what it was yesterday. It's now something that's a little bit higher up on the ladder.
I absolutely don't agree. I think that, see, or rather, I should say, I've been perceiving that Tudor has been chasing that Omega Seamaster market, and they've been doing a good job of it. We definitely know, as you said, that Rolex is trying to move up market with materials and so forth, and trying to get into that Patek space. But no one who, you're right. 32 grand for someone who has that kind of money is not a lot of money, considering a lot of Daytonas are still mid 20s. But anyone with $32,000 and an ounce of sense isn't going to be the person going through the Tudor boutique with their $30,000. You can get a used Submariner Gold for 36. So I'm in a quandary, I will admit. I don't know who this watch is for. I can't. I'm having trouble conceiving who the actual customer is for this, unless it rolls back to what you said prior, which was, statement or spectacle. I can't. Tudor wants to sell you watches for less than $5,000. They absolutely want to. And they don't want to encroach.
But they want you to
Rolex.
respect Tudor more. I think that's kind of what this is. This is an attention-grabbing piece. I think they want people to take Tudor more seriously than they have in the past.
Which is funny, because I take them less seriously now that I see this piece. I'm actually laughing at them for this piece. This is the most laughable release I've ever seen. Now their monochrome release of their was it a 58? That, like, it's more or less harkening back to the old Tudor Submariners. I thought that was a brilliant piece. I think that bringing the Coke out in the Tudor line was also brilliant. But sorry, brother, I'm giving this piece a veto. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It makes me like them less for doing it.
Really, and you're somebody who's been more involved with Tudor than I have. Certainly, you have a few.
I'm wearing Tudor and I love them. This watch doesn't make any sense though. I'm dying to understand it though. I want to understand it. I don't understand everything. I don't know everything. I'm dying to understand it. I can't picture if you're correct. Rolex is. There's a lot of speculation and rumor about Rolex wanting to switch more into precious metals, although titanium, their titanium Yachtmaster, would love to see one of those. I think Tudor's been doing it really, really well lately with the smaller sizes that are a little bit better, and getting away from the Black Bay this and the Black Bay that and the blah blah Black Bay. Because it's just a hunk of watch. It's a hunk of watch generally. Every year, Tudor seems to be impressing us with what they're doing. They didn't impress me with this gold piece. I don't know who's going to buy it. Like, if their goal was to sell watches, and I think you're onto something, I don't think that was the goal with this piece. Who are they selling this to? Who in their right mind is going to spend 35 grand on a Tudor that's not even special? Other than gold and green, it's not special. There's nothing special on the inside.
Let me call your attention to the video that I posted as part of my article, which showed some B-roll from fashion shows, particularly a designer like Alexander McQueen. If you go back and look at some of his old fashion shows, that he revitalized the runway. It had become moribund, and he put on these spectacular shows that were over the top, that were in many cases grotesque, that featured bizarre and outlandish gowns and so forth that no one's ever going to buy off the rack. No one's even going to get something like that made. But it called attention to the brand, and it said this brand is doing things that are bold and demand attention and are different, and it got people looking at the brand. And once their eyes are on the brand, then you have a chance to sell them something else. Then you have a chance to say, here's what we're actually selling to real customers. Here's what Alexander himself is designing for celebrities to walk the red carpet. It's an attention grabber,
I can see that, and I did enjoy the article, absolutely, and I think it's absolutely relevant for that industry where, okay, once you demonstrate a certain prowess in design language, you can then get commissioned by these stars to do their Met Gala wardrobe or whatever. I don't see that at all happening with Tudor, because Tudor's bread and butter is the $4,000 dive watch. This $32,000 gold watch is so out of bounds. I think that watch should have been an only watch submission, which is back on, coincidentally, for mid-May. That's where this watch belongs. This doesn't belong in catalog or in store.
Well, I hear
for
what
me,
you're saying. This watch is outlandish. It's shocking. It's unfit for decent society. That may be exactly the reaction they want.
That's all for tonight's episode. Thank you, Ricardo. I'm just kidding, buddy.
That sort of outlandish statement may be what they were going for. That may be what they wanted to shock the world a little bit and get them paying attention to Tudor. Are they trying to sell a lot of these? No, but they want people's attention.
Their tagline, "Born to Dare." I don't know. They could be tying in with that somehow. Who knows? Well, if you have an opinion, or more importantly, if you've got inside information on why Tudor did this, please leave me a note in the comments. We're friends of ways apart on this watch, my brother, but always good to talk watches with you, dude. Like we always do on this watch yapping series, once I'm done doing my yapping, I like to hand things over to the guest to have the final word. Ricardo, if you'd like to plug anything, any projects you've got going on, the floor is yours, my good man.
Well, if I may turn the tables, you have pioneered a reversed Tudor, haven't you?
My reversed Tudor FXD and upcoming partnerships with Jacko at ndcstraps.com. Shout out Jacko. There's going to be a bunch of giveaways going on. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for the kind opportunity to hawk my wares, brother. And as we know, we still have a bunch of 1001 Watch Designs Volume 1 available, along with the Porsche Design t-shirt at hobbyofhours.com.
Great. And is there a way that an ordinary punter can get a hold of one of these reversed Tudors?
Absolutely. I will include the link to the video I did breaking down how to do this. It's nothing special. Just buy a regular Tudor FXD pre-owned and take it to a watchmaker, a competent watchmaker, and all they have to do is use a Rolex Sea Dweller caseback opener to open it up, drop the movement, and rotate the dial 180 degrees, and you're in business. Just keep in mind that if you ever have to take it in for service, or if someone bumbles it while doing it, you're gonna have to get it reversed out if you have to actually ship it to Tudor to get a service done. That's really only the danger. But if you've got a great relationship with your AD or whomever you purchase it from, they can do it for you, and they can they'll sort you out on it. It's a lot of fun. And I am the only one who has this in the civilian market. The only other person who has this is a potential French diver in the Marine Nationale who ordered it as left-hand drive from Tudor to begin with. It's just me and them. Me and a bunch of Batical French divers, bro.
Fantastic.
All right, my man. Any final thoughts? Any parting words, brother?
I'm sorry I can't make it to the event at Moyer, which is coming up. It sounds like it's going to be a fantastic one. However, I do look forward to meeting up with you at the next meetup that we do make it to.
Sounds good, my man. Stay in touch. By the time this video airs, I will have, God willing, returned from the Mourner event, and those episodes will have aired. I want to give major thanks to my good buddy Ricardo, and we will catch you in the next one. Thank you for coming along on the ride, brother, and thank you for coming along on the ride as well in this wonderful, beautiful hobby of ours. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Pick up a book. 1001 Watch Designs, Volume 1. We've got line art, oil paintings, steampunk, and even super duper realistic ones. Ones that you could probably put on your wrist today. It's a good bit of fun and a great way to share your support. Thanks for coming along on the ride.